Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm bringing you my personal and Twitter comment wish list of FIFA 22 and mainly basing it around pro clubs. So for those of you that have played pro clubs for a long time, you would have known the progression of pro clubs has been very slow. You know what I mean? There's not many updates, there's not many changes through each year of every new FIFA. It's always very stale, you know what I mean? Now the craziest thing to do, in my opinion, is if you look backwards and progressively go backwards, it's almost as if pro clubs is also progressing when you go backwards in time. So you go from FIFA 21 to 20 to 19 to 18 to 17. You can see progression in pro clubs then. It's mad. Think about it for a second and think of what came out in pro clubs on FIFA 15 and 16 and 17 and the gameplay behind it as well and how things have changed. You could also make an argument of that. It's progressing when you go backwards, which shows the decline, if anything, of it going forwards how it is right now. Which is the craziest thing, is the dumbest thing, and I don't know why it is a thing, but it is. I mean, look at the past. We've had the game face and accomplishments, for example. Just two, I could pluck out the thinner right now. I'm sure there's more when you can think about it. But yeah, just two quick, game face and the accomplishments. So now you gotta think as well, had you never heard of game face and saying game face was never a thing in FIFA before, and say accomplishments were never a thing on pro clubs before, and they came out brand new. So FIFA 22 was brand new accomplishments, brand new game face, never been seen before. You know, theoretically, it'd be quite a big deal, you know what I mean? And that's what it's going like, that's what it's like when you go backwards and think how it was in FIFA 15 and 14 and 13 and 12, you know what I mean? It's an absolute joke if you ask me. But it's just a little thing I want to bring into your mind. I think about going backwards in FIFA, how pro clubs is progressing as you go backwards. Think about it for a second. But anyway, going back to this wish list of FIFA 22, and we've got to think of progression for it. Obviously, it's not hard. I'm sure all of us here could think of 5 incredible features we want in pro clubs on FIFA 22. Now, I'm going to break down my favorites. I did ask on Twitter today, by the way. Link in the description, by the way, for my Twitter, at SamTapTap. Make sure you guys follow over there, by the way. It's pretty cool. Talk about all sorts of things, pro clubs, COD, football, you know, anything. But yeah, I did tweet out on Twitter asking about what you guys wanted to see on pro clubs. Like, if you could have one feature on pro clubs on FIFA 22, what would you add? What would you bring? Any changes? All this kind of stuff. So I'm going to go through those in this video from what you guys suggested. But I've got a couple of my own. Now these ideas, this wish list we have is in no particular order. So the first one I mentioned is the most important or the least important, and the final one I mentioned is not the least or most important. In any particular order, it's not, it's not important. That it's just as I list them out. And the first thing to do when you're talking about progression in pro clubs is try and be, I know it's hard to say, but realistic. All right, we can't, be too far-fetched. I'm sure, like I said, we can think of some incredible ideas for pro clubs, how you want it to progress and where you want it to be. And, it's just not realistic, is it really? I mean, I'd love to have, like, a My Park theme, like have an NBA in pro clubs, where you can run around a little court with your friends and jump in and play a little futsal game or a Volta kind of game, you know what I mean? And just off the cuff, for the fun of it, or go walk to, like, a store and buy some new football boots, something like NBA My Park, I believe. I've never played it, but I've seen it. But I'm sure you guys have heard of it if not. But yeah, they do a very good job of like a My Pro career kind of thing with your friends on NBA. And if they could bring elements of that into pro clubs, it would be a dream, I tell you. But like I said, we've got to be realistic. And I'd love to see it, but it's probably not going to happen, you know what I mean? It's a shame, and I wish it would, because it's such a cool feature. It is such a cool thing to do, where you can walk around with your friends to go, like I said, buy some boots, or go stand next to a court or a football pitch and play a little 5v5 game, a 5-a-side game. That would be like a top tier pro clubs change and update. That would be like, once you get to that point, I don't know how far up you can get. It's almost a ceiling right there. But if you get to that point, it would be great. But one day, maybe, but, calm your expectations, be realistic, and think, if you're EA, and the fact that pro clubs doesn't bring them any money, and all this kind of stuff, we all know it already. And there's lack of changes, as we know. Is it really going to happen? Now, this is something that I really want to see in pro clubs on FIFA 22, and that is crossplay. I want the ability for anyone on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation to play together in a pro clubs lobby, in a pro clubs game. Because for myself as a streamer on pro clubs on Twitch, I get a lot of people that come into the chat looking to play clubs with us that are on PlayStation or PC, and I'm on Xbox, and I can't play with them. So it's such a shame, because there's a big majority of people that are on PlayStation and PC that are missing out, and that's not good. I mean, we can't have people missing out on playing games with anyone on any platform, because I mean it's 2021. You know what I mean? So the fact that FIFA is not a cross-platform game, where literally the majority of games that come out nowadays cross-platform, you can play on PC with your friends when you're on console, for example. It's crazy. And the fact FIFA still isn't that is mad, in my opinion. It needs to be. It needs to get with the times, update, cross-play your game, and allow anyone to play with anyone on any platform. And that also includes Ultimate Team and head-to-head and all this kind of stuff. Any online feature that EA offers on FIFA 22, it needs to be crossplay. And a real quick mention as well, if you guys have any more ideas on what you want to see on pro clubs in FIFA 22, make sure you comment down below as well. Let me know what you want to see on pro clubs in FIFA 22. And I mean, the slightest slim chance that EA see this video, they may even see the comments, you know what I mean? So your idea in the comments may even, you know, make it to a future FIFA. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know what EA do with their social side if they watch any videos. They probably do, but the community feedback they get, maybe they'll see this and think, okay, there's some good ideas. Maybe we can do that. I don't know. Maybe they will, but we may as well try, you know what I mean? We may as well try and hope for the best, fingers crossed. The EA see this and think, okay, there's a couple good ideas here, let's implement them. I'd rather try. I'd rather have a go and put my voice out there, and you can too, like I said in the comments, give me your opinions and what you want to see on FIFA 22 Pro Clubs. But yeah, we may as well try, right? Anyway, a next feature that I've been suggested on Twitter was the fact to sub into a game. So basically subs on clubs is what I like to call it. So the ability to add substitutes to the game. So you get a full 11, right? You get 11 people in a lobby on pro clubs, and then you get a little bench on the side of the lobby, right? So why can't you have like maybe like 2 or 3, 4, 5 players on the bench waiting to come on potentially? And even if they don't play, they can just sit there and watch the game. Obviously, you know, it's a bit of a shame if you've got to not get used as a sub in a football game. But you know, at least you're there if willing to change. It would be such a cool feature. It would be such a cool feature. And I feel like it would add a lot of spice to pro clubs. Being able to substitute people and bring someone on for someone else. Maybe that means it'll be a softer server, because then you think about it, you've got a 32-man lobby there. Instead of being a 22, you've got a 32-man lobby in one game. Maybe it's a bit tough on the server, because you know what EA servers are like. They're pretty tough as it is already. But yeah, imagine you've obviously got 5 subs on each team. Potentially 11v11 game as well, so you got a 32-man lobby right there, and they should be able to do it. I mean, it's EA, right? They have Battlefield games that have like 100+ players and all this kind of stuff. Is mad. So you know, they think they'd be able to run a 32-man lobby on FIFA, but that's the only reason I can think of why that maybe they haven't done it. But it'll be nice to see, even if not 5 players, just 3. You know what I mean? And that's what, 28 is 4 less people. It's not, you know, it's a bit more reasonable maybe, but just subs on clubs. It would be cool. It would be fun. I'm sure a lot of you guys would enjoy it as well. Subs on clubs. Let's see it. Now I'm going to go through the topic of your pro. Alright, so there's a lot of things you can do with your pro in this game, but there's so much more you can do. Like I said earlier about a game face. You know, you could do a game face, obviously accessories, maybe like tattoos and all this kind of stuff. You always want to see that. Obviously more hairstyles, more colours. Nothing too crazy, but you know what I mean. Just obviously you see hairstyles in football nowadays. There's crazy hairstyles. Any footballer's got a mad hairstyle. There's so much opportunity there for customization on your pro that I believe they can do more, and they should do more. And sticking with like the cosmetic side of FIFA, obviously of your accessories and the pro appearance and all that, they should be able to add something themed. So say you got like a Christmas or Halloween style. Obviously they do it on Ultimate Team with like, was it Footmus or the freeze cards and the Halloween theme of Scream, isn't it? I think Scream promo, something like those kind of things on Ultimate Team. I have that in pro clubs where, say for the week of Halloween, there's like, I don't know, a spooky kit you can unlock by winning 10 games on clubs, for example. Or in Christmas time, the referee wears a little Santa hat. Or if you win 10 games on clubs around Christmas time, then you get a Christmas kit or Christmas boots. Or the stadium is like snowy themed, or little snowmen at the side of the pitch. You know, little things like that. It'll be fun. A little bit gimmicky maybe, but it's fun. It's something to work towards. Little daily challenges. Again, a big one, like I just said, daily challenges. Something to get on for, a reason to play, and a reward for it as well. So you get, like I said, maybe a new boots, or new gloves for the keeper, or a new kit. Or like they do it, they've done it in Ultimate Team as well. You can upgrade the stadium. Little things like that in pro clubs would be elite, I tell you. A reason to play, a reason to get on, and a reward for doing so. Like I tell you, I would love to get on every day and grind for something with the stream that we have. It would be so good that we can all work towards together. Like I said about getting 10 wins in pro clubs over a course of a week, for example. That would be huge. That would be huge. Like, I'm down. You get a kit, and then you can wear the kit for the rest of the year. Like, it would be fun. And the thought of it, it sounds quite achievable in my opinion, because you got these daily challenges on Ultimate Team and all this kind of stuff, SBCs and objectives, whatnot. You know, it would be such a simple implementation. I believe. I'm not no coder. I have no idea about how to work a game, other than play it. But it seems like such a simple thing to add a daily challenge and a reason to play, a reward as well on pro clubs. It would be elite, I tell you. Fingers crossed. Now, other side of your pro, other than appearance, is the ability. All right, so your actual skill points and all this kind of stuff. And obviously, a big one, like I said earlier, about with game phase is the accomplishments. So bringing back accomplishments. Do we want it? Do we not? I'm on the fence of yes. I do want accomplishments, but alongside the current progression system with like skill points, and every game you get a little bit boost of XP that levels you up slightly, kind of thing. A combination of the two, I feel like, is a perfect balance. And I would love to see accomplishments come back. Maybe adjust it slightly so it's not like dictating how you play. Because some of the accomplishments in the past were a bit crazy. What was it? Some of them were like, do 5 skill moves and you get more skill points. So that means everyone on the team is going to be skilling their heart out. Like a drop-in match just to get some skill moves. Or like finesse shots outside the box. Everyone's going to be finessing. Even weaker foot, trying to get higher weaker foot. You know what I mean? It's going to dictate how everyone's going to play. And it may not cause for like a natural, you know, authentic kind of experience on FIFA. It's going to be everyone trying to do certain things. But if you can tailor the accomplishments to be quite simple but effective in a terms like maybe score 5 goals and you get +1 finishing, or you make 10 saves as a keeper, you know, +1 diving. You know, little things like that. A reason to make a shot, or a reason to like get 5 assists and you get like, I don't know, +2 passing. You know, little things like that. That'd be so sick. Instead of like this background progression that you can barely understand, it is based on games played. The more games you play, the higher rating is. There's no like, okay, if I play 1 more game, I'll get more passing. Okay, if I play 10 more games, I'll get another rating. You know what I mean? It's all just like in the background. You can't really see what's going on. There's no real reason to play other than skill points. Once you get past 100 skill points, that's it. You know what I mean? And playing 100 games on clubs, I don't know about you, but it's easy for me. It doesn't take that long. It takes about a week maybe. But after you get the skill points, and that's it, you're done. So maybe like I said, if you have a little accomplishment system where you can track your games played, you can track your goals and think, okay, my target is to get 10 goals so I can get this finishing boost. Then you go and get it. It's quite authentic, and it's still a reason to play. None of that crazy 5-star weak foot BS where you've got to shoot from your weaker foot outside the box, because everyone's going to do it. None of that crazy, you know, doing 10 skill moves past players so you can get a higher skill rating. You know, it's little things that I don't need that. You don't need that. So yeah, bring back accomplishments, rework them so it makes it authentic and doesn't got to dictate how someone plays. But it would be nice to have a combination of both, you know, game progression for skill points as well as accomplishments for certain attributes. You know what I mean? Now this one's a big one for me personally, because I play clubs a lot, if not every day, right, on stream. But I want another type of game mode on clubs, right? A competitive one. Almost like a ranked playlist. You know how to get in other games like Call of Duty, Valorant, all this kind of stuff. They have ranked playlists. Why not bring it to clubs as well? You can name it Weekend League, you can name it Ranked, you can name it whatever you want. But another like game mode, you've obviously got the cups, you've got divisions, and you've got friendlies. And I guess you've got that practice match, but I don't really count that. But you've got 3 game modes, right? That are like legit game modes that you can play that are fun. And after that, it's kind of it. Once you get to Division 1 and win it, you've done that. Once you've obviously got friendlies all year on VFL, VPG, all these kind of leagues you can play. You can do that throughout the year, that's cool. And then once you won all the cups, again, similar to Division 1. Once you've got every single cup in the trophy cabinet, you're done. There's no need to play them again. Now those two, the cups and the divisions, they can take maybe, let's say about 3 months. Give yourself 3 months, you can win Division 1 and win every single cup. Some of you may do it sooner, some may do it later, you know, just a roundabout figure, 3 months, right? And that takes you to about December. So then you've got, what's that, 9 months left of playing over divisions over and over again. And the friendlies, like I said about VFL and VPG and all these league sites that use friendlies to play games, they are good because you can do it throughout the year, and that's alright, we like that, keep that going. But there needs to be a 4th game mode, something else, like I said, a weekend league, a competitive playlist that you can play within FIFA. Where obviously VFL and VPG are great, but you have to go in a 3rd-party site externally through FIFA to play competitive. Why not play in the game? Why not play competitive in the game? Instead of using Division 1 as the most competitive way to play within FIFA. Which it can be sometimes, but you know, a lot of the time it's not. If you want a pure 11v11 experience, you can have it as like a daily cup or a weekend cup on pro clubs where you have this cup open for, I don't know, 48 hours and you've got to try and win it with 11 people. And it may not be available to everyone because not everyone has like 11 friends that can get on at the same time at a weekend, and that's okay, that's fine. Maybe have other cups that have like, okay, minimum 5 players. You know, maximum of 8, somewhere in between. Other cups that have this kind of thing that give you rewards, by the way, like I said, about a kit or cosmetic items, something for your stadium, trophy cabinet that's a better trophy cabinet than the current one, kind of thing. But yeah, basically a fourth game mode, a competitive game mode within pro clubs that people can play. Hasn't got to be cups, hasn't got to be divisions, it's just whatever they can think of. I'm not the one to think of it, but I love the idea of being competitive within FIFA. Now I know it's been a long video, and I thank you all for sticking with me this far, but this is the final wish list I have for FIFA 22 pro clubs, my final point, my final topic. And I believe it's probably the biggest one, the most important, and that, as you can imagine already, is gameplay. Gameplay is everything in pro clubs, 100%. I am not the man to give the best gameplay. There's many people more experienced than me in pro clubs that can give you better insight into gameplay. But for one fact, like I said, Mr. Unity Bluefin, the man himself, he knows a lot more about this than I do. But he brings up a good point, like I said in a Twitter discussion we had, where the engine on FIFA 21 is the Frostbite engine. It has been, I think, since like, was it 5-6 years now, give or take. I'm not sure exactly how long, but the Frostbite engine was built for Battlefield. As you know, Battlefield is quite a crazy game. It's a shooter game if you don't know already. But things explode, buildings crumble, all this kind of stuff, bullets flying over, explosions from grenades. It's a mad one, right? It's a chaotic game, and that engine was used for FIFA. Alright, how is a shooter game, a destructive, explosive, guns firing shooter game, use the same engine as a football game, a football simulator? It's mad to me. I don't understand. So they need to work an engine from the ground up, built specifically for FIFA. All right, and say there was, let's theorize for a second. Say there was an engine created just for FIFA, right? They would never use that engine for Battlefield. There would never be a reverse thing. There would never be vice versa. They would never do that. So why have they done it for the current FIFA? Why have they made the Battlefield engine on FIFA? They would never make the FIFA engine for Battlefield. It's mad to me. But within the current game, you can see the kind of destructive aspect of the Frostbite engine with like the player movement, and when they collide, when the ball moves, when the ball ricochets off of people. There's an aspect of, like, I know it's like very loose, it's not an explosion. It's the way the players react. It's the way like the ball bounces around and all this kind of stuff. It's a bit, the bundles, like the key one there is the bundles in the box. It's crazy. And the blocks, the list goes on. Obviously, we all know about gameplay on FIFA 21, how it's crazy and how broken it can be. But we need to work it up from the ground up, in my opinion. A brand new engine specifically for FIFA, and just hope and pray that it's good. There's plenty of examples where you've seen on FIFA 21 where you can see that the Frostbite engine is kind of like struggling with the game, where it's like colliding players and the goalpost shaking around. Remember that right at the start of the game, where the goals, if you do a certain skill move, would shake about. There's another one as well, if the ball like cannons off of a player, or like going for a slide tackle when they both collide at the same time in a 50-50, the ball will go like 100 miles an hour down the pitch. And I saw one the other day, I'll try and link it or try and bring the video on the screen, where these players go for a 50-50 tackle and the ball flies off from like 60 yards away, if not further. 100 miles an hour into the net, faster than any shot I've ever seen on FIFA 21. It zooms in and the keeper's got nothing to do about it. It bounces faster. Like, how can a ball that bounced get faster as it progresses and bounces and bounces? It's mad. It's crazy. It's one of those things you can't believe. The physics it doesn't make sense. So yeah, I thought I'd end on that one. I thought I'd end on the gameplay aspects, because in my opinion, I said how it wasn't in a particular order at the start of the video, but in my opinion, right, personally, the gameplay is very important, if not top of the list, that needs to be fixed on FIFA 22. But that is it for today. I know it's been a long video. Like I said, thank you all for sticking with me. I appreciate it. If you watched this far, you're an absolute legend. Alright, there is actually in the description, right, if you get this far, right at the bottom, there is a code for an Xbox gift card. Alright, so thank you all for watching this far. It's insane from you. So yeah, right at the bottom of the description, there'll be a code for a gift card. If you get it, let me know. But yeah, thank you for watching. Much appreciated for getting this far with me. It's very kind of you. And as a thank you for that, yeah, like I said, if first one to get it, it's only one. So yeah, good luck whoever gets it. Enjoy. But an Xbox gift card at the bottom of the description. I may even do a PlayStation one as well. Why not? Alright, there we go. I'll do a PlayStation and an Xbox gift card at the bottom of the description. And it'll be a code for it, by the way, so you have to redeem the code. But, so yeah, thank you all for watching. I do appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, that's going to be it from me. I appreciate you all watching. A bit of a different video. Never done one of these before. So it's quite nice to get involved and bring my point across, as well as your guys' points across from Twitter. And I got your chance in the comments below to as well bring your points across and say what you want to see in FIFA 22 Pro Clubs. But that is it from me. I appreciate you all. Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios, amigos.